Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take us? Your heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As I dive in, bloodstains washing underneath the waves. I'll be reaching out to keep you safe. As we fall, I can't hold on much longer. We're drifting down to the other side. Try to pull us under. Keep holding out for the other side. Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take? Where do I go? Tell me where do I take? The heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. Where do I go? Tell me where do I go? Where do I go? Tell me where do I take? Tell me where do I go? Tell me where do I take? The heart is starting to slow. May the water be safe. As we fall, I can't hold on much longer. We're drifting down to the other side. Try to pull us under. Keep holding out for the other side. Welcome to the world, no heroes and villains. Welcome to the war, we've only begun. So pick up your weapon and face it. There's blood on the ground, go and take it. You get one shot to make it out alive. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your bones, go and take it. This is your moment. Now is your time, so prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Welcome to the climb up. Reach for the summit. Visions brave, the one falls, steadily the end. So higher and higher you chase it. It's deep in your blood, go and take it. This is your moment. Take to the skies, go. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through heaven. Rise, rise. They will remember you. Get it on, go. Get it on, get it on, get it on, go. yourself and rise, rise. Make them remember you. Push through hell and rise, rise. They will remember you. Prove yourself and rise, rise. Pick up your weapon and face it. Rise. Keep it attacking.
can go.
We good? All right. Sorry about that. There was some tech issues, evidently. Blame OBS. You should have it fixed up now. Hopefully you can hear us. Sorry about that, everyone. I was just introducing us, of course. My name is Everyday. With me is Mabinogi and Yulway. We will skip the small talk because we've got to get straight into our first series. If you want to bring our predictions up, Yulway, we'll start with you. Why do you think the series will go the way you say it will?
Well, I think 2-1 is a very solid prediction today overall, just because of the quality of games yesterday. So I'm not super sure it will go in which way it will go, but I think SGB overall looked better, and BTS has some problems closing out games. So I feel like they can be competitive, can actually be a very, very cool and interesting series with close games. But I lean toward Saigon Buffalo in the end. I think they've looked better, but who knows? The long break. Everything can happen. Anything could happen.
Yeah, very true. Marby, what are your thoughts? I think you've got a 2-1 as well.
Yeah, 2-1 for Saigon Buffalo. It's pretty much because Buffalo, for the most part, has been one of the best teams in the league in the past 2 weeks of play we actually got to see. But BTS, they have had signs of life, and they've always taken one game. So the games they end up winning usually look pretty clean. So it has been 2 weeks. A lot of things could change. BTS could fall off a cliff. Buffalo could fall off a cliff. We don't know. We predicted both these teams to be much worse than they've shown, despite the 0-3 record from BTS. But they've had a relatively hard strength of schedule, and they have always taken a game, and they should have won at least one of those series. So
yeah, I think the most deceptive 0-3 of all time, right? We talked about this in our podcast 1.5 weeks ago. And BTS really does not look like an 0-3 team. They should have won that series against Cerberus for sure. So there's hope. There's a lot of hope. They, especially on late game compositions, I feel like they are going to be maybe even the favorites if they can get into the late game with a solid game state, only 1k, 2k behind. Because in the late game, they thrive. They are a really strong team there.
Yeah, for sure. So let's talk about. So we kind of all think BTS is the underdog. I actually don't even have them winning a game. I think SGB can take this one 2-0. But let's talk about how they are going to win if they're going to do it. Marby, where do you think BTS needs to attack if they are going to get over the line today?
I think, for the most part, you actually need to sort of attack the top lane if you're BTS. Not necessarily because that's where your strength lies, but it's because that's where the biggest advantage for SGB lies. Yes. The top jungle sort of matchup is where BTS has looked the weakest. So if they can put TH into a position where he's very comfortable and snowball him and Drakthar, the rest of the map should either win or go even on their own. And you just need to track BJ and get TH into a comfortable position up against Hasmed.
I mean, that's going to be hard, though. Like, there's a bit of a top gap in this series, right? Your way? If you were BTS, where would you be attacking?
I think mid lane is a very obvious area. You could attack Glory way better in laning, especially if you give him Zoe. Maybe you could try to solo kill or just hard pressure Froggy. And if you get the control of the mid lane, maybe mid jungle, you control BJ, you control the side lanes, and if your top lane has a good day and can actually not die to Hasmed, I think you're on a good trajectory to victory. So I feel like it's all for BTS. It all comes down to how strong Glory plays today, and can he control and the Froggy's positioning on the map, can he avert all the snowballs to the other side? Because individually he's going to be ahead, no matter what. If they both play normally, he's going to end up with 50 CS lead, but Froggy is going to accelerate bot lane or top lane. So he needs to not only get 50 CS ahead, he also needs to decelerate Froggy and try to stop his roams and his impact across the map. Now, if he manages to do that, I think BTS has a good shot at just winning standard team fights. So it's all going to be mid lane focused for BTS for me.
Froggy is a very interesting person that we kind of always have to talk about when we talk about SGB. Because by conventional wisdom, he's terrible. But when you actually watch the games, it doesn't necessarily play out like that. So, Marby, do you want to talk to us a little bit about Froggy and how he can be instrumental in SGB's success?
Froggy is a support in the wrong lane. Or a jungler in the wrong lane, depending on how you look at it. He sort of used to be he used to play weird things like Shyvana and Rammus mid, so probably a jungler in the mid lane makes the most sense. Because he is terrible at last hitting in lane, but he has excellent ideas of how to make his way around the map, utilize that mid lane wave pressure to get into the side lanes, make stuff happen around the map, and he seems to have a really good grasp of how to play the game. He just can't last hit. He just can't. He's just a fan of minions. He doesn't like killing them, apparently, or something.
He's a pacifist.
He's a pacifist to a certain extent because he's still not completely.
Unless he plays
abstaining. He tries to kill some of them, but he's just very bad at that. So I'm not sure if we can assign the pacifist thing to him.
Yeah, fair. I mean, but I still think at the moment the picks are the meta suits that. There's a lot of roaming mids that are currently in the meta. The Galio is completely playable. We are heading into Champion Select, so we will be able to see what Froggy wants to do, and of course the rest of SGB and BTS. Seraphine immediately removed. She's getting banned every game because Froggy, that's the one champion he's actually good at.
Yeah, and we can see BTS.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think they have definitely prepared something special here for Saigon Buffalo. Blue side should give them a nice early advantage, maybe in something like the jungle matchup. We are still on 11.2, so a lot of the very strong junglers, the Gore Drinkers, still here. Pantheon comes to mind, Olaf comes to mind, so I'd like to see BTS grab one of those to accelerate the early mid-jungle duo, and then try to scale on the side lanes, maybe.
Yeah, I like the top focus in the bans from BTS with the Gnar takeaway, because that is one of Hasmed's safest sort of blind picks that he was going to last, and when we last saw the play. He can of course pull out the Akai and stuff, but those are definitely those are generally better as like phase 2 bans against Hasmed, because Akali at this state isn't really something you want to be blind picking. Definitely not without that flex potential, and I mean, are you flexing it to Froggy? If Froggy, they still have a bench that they could utilize, but I think Froggy's been performing better. There we are. He's in, so...
Yeah, I think keeping Froggy in is
just...
Yeah, there we go. Olaf first pick. Let's go.
Just gonna... If you just pick him up, that's better.
Yeah, really
first
like
pick
Bobby, you're lagging a
options
little bit.
like Oh, sorry, okay.
Yeah. I promise we're not trying to talk over you. There's
I'm
just a
not
little
going
bit of our bad.
Yeah.
Then he's going to be the Olaf first pick, answered immediately by a Kai'Sa. I like the Olaf first pick. You got to remember, this is still 11.2. We are a patch behind the rest of the esports world. So this is still very, very strong Gore Drinker. So Olaf is great on this patch. And I think Drakthar has actually looked pretty good on Olaf. Do you agree, Yue?
Yeah, absolutely. And Drakthar overall had a much improved performance. Olaf also not super mechanically intensive, right? I mean, you kind of need to hit some skill shots here and there, but it's more about knowing your limits and knowing when to go in and how to go in. So he's an aggressive player. I like to see him on this champion. I already teased that in pick and ban. So let's see what they... Ooh, that's a very defensive bot lane. This is a risky pick for... I really like the Xayah, as you all know, but I feel like it might be a little too defensive here. Yone Havert would be a lot of AD.
Yeah, I don't think...
Yone Hover would be interesting.
I don't...
The Galio is what I was going to suggest. Because you still have that flex potential to send it to Elio in the bot lane.
Yeah, you need to, in my
And
opinion.
that takes it away, and that takes it out of the hands of Froggy, and denies that Camille Galio combination.
It's certainly a good deny, for sure. Enemy team composition with Galio would look very scary. On the other hand, I think Lori needs a carry-oriented champion. I think even though Olaf Galio is a strong mid-game combo, where Olaf constantly invades and Lori follows up with the ultimate, I feel I would really prefer him on a lane-dominant champion. Something like Maybe a LeBlanc, something of that nature. Maybe Zoe comes to mind as well. Zoe's still open as well.
I would like Tristana.
It's a lot of AD.
If Glory,
I wouldn't like.
That is true.
I wouldn't have minded is Zoe. This is Glory we're talking about.
Yeah.
Zoe's open.
Zoe is also an absolutely great champion for Glory, but the idea with Tristana is because you know Froggy's going to be leaving
That's
lane,
true.
just make sure that tower dies instantly.
You
and
know,
then you
next
can
level
rotate
Tristana?
around,
You actually go Ziggs.
just rotate with
Ooh,
him and
true.
kill him.
Just go Ziggs. Yeah.
True, true.
I mean, this could still be a flex Galio down to support. I don't think it's super likely, but it is possible.
I think it's fairly likely, but we have yet to see, you know, what sort of jungler SGB still wants to go for. I have a feeling that SGB is the type that could even be
Snap Kane. It's Bean J. I was going to bring this up, but then we didn't have our full analyst desk due to tech issues. Bean J loves Kane, and Kane is kind of meta right now. Not so much on 11.2.
Yeah,
but
11.2
globally, he
is still a
meta.
red Kane, I believe. With Gore Drinker, still a lot of life stealing. So I don't think we're going to see the Kenyan blue Kane running rampant and killing everyone from outside of their range. So I feel like this is still going to be the teamfight oriented Kane. Not sure if I like it. And
Yeah, I
TH
think
with
that-
his classic pick. That's
Yeah.
the TH pick.
Oh, Poppy. That would be interesting.
Okay, this would be very interesting.
Oh,
Uh,
okay.
It's
We
a lot
late game
more
boys.
Ordinary. We are going all in on late game, absolutely. Olaf is really just there to try and get as much out of the game as they can.
Come on, Froggy,
And
dude.
that's who we wanted to pick 6.
You
but
can't miss CS on Ziggs. It's
I
impossible.
wouldn't be against it.
I mean,
I-
do you
I
remember the
disagree.
last
Oh,
things
no.
we
Oh,
saw?
God.
I would support me.
All right.
You can
It is
miss
gonna be-
CS on that.
Okay, well, it's a lot of early game aggression taking on all late game from BTS. BTS is just going 100% all in on the late game.
I think SGB's comp
that
is
is an
very
Ignite
late game
Camille
focused
as
as well. Actually, I think this is they are
I don't
trying
think-
to
I think
play. They are trying to play G2 here as SGB. I'm kind of worried for them because that's a 1-3-1 comp if I've ever seen one. Echo Camille side lanes. That's ambitious as a middle of the table VCS team, I'd say.
And
Very true.
Drakthar is going to probably have to take a good deal of inspiration from Blabber because Hasmed, he's sitting on that Ignite.
Yep.
He's sitting on that Ignite. So if that stays, which it almost certainly will because it's had plenty of opportunity to change it, that is a very gankable coming up.
No, I actually think this is a good
Very-
Ignite game. This is a lot of people have
I don't think
criticized
this
Ignite.
is a gankable Camille.
Yeah.
It's a
Indeed.
Vlad. You can't.
There's no
You're just
CC.
1v1ing her at that point.
Yeah, there's no CC.
Fair cut that is.
They have one
That is
slow.
Vladimir.
They have one slow on that in that.
They have two
2v2.
slows.
I guess two slows.
He has a
Fair enough.
Vladimir, he has a slow.
Fair enough. Two slows, but they can't interrupt her E. She can get away all the time, and Ignite puts so much pressure on TH. Hasmed already known as a very mechanically gifted player, so I think this is the time to pick Ignite. And take notes. This is the one comp where Camille can actually go Ignite and probably succeed. I just cursed him, so let's see what happens to him.
If your opponent is a Vladimir one trick, take Ignite.
Or take Riven. You know?
Or-
That would be
yeah.
high. But I think that's next patch. This isn't the Riven patch. It's interesting though because it's also Hasmed versus TH. But before I say much more, your way, give us your last words and who is winning game 1?
I think the composition is too difficult for SGB to really make work. I like their attempt, but I feel like VCS, especially after the quality of games yesterday, it's a little bit too hard to execute. So I think BTS is going to win this pretty late, maybe 40-minute game. I think we're in for a while here.
Fair enough. We'll talk to
Oh,
you
he's
again
confident.
after the game.
He's confident. He put a timer down. So, all in on the BTS hype train, as we all know. Number one, Rebel may have a fan in the Drakthar fan club, but
Yeah.
no, taking it more seriously, good sort of early sort of scouting coming out of BTS. Gonna realize that BJ is actually not going to be starting on that top side, which is a bit unusual for Kayn. Tends to take those Raptors at level 1 because he clears them so fast, but he wants that extra safety from the bot lane leash. So he's going to make his way more towards the top side, probably so he can link up with Husmid and maybe try a very H at the early levels.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually an interesting game for the Kayn because it's kind of hard for him to get the orbs he wants. It's a 3 ranged comp out of BTS, and one of the melee is the jungler, obviously. So it's not like he's going to be clashing with Olaf too much early. If he goes top, he gets blue orbs. If he goes bot, he'll get a mix. And if he goes mid, he gets blue orbs. So it's not super easy to get his Ras transformation here. So I am curious how he plays this one. We are, of course, assuming that he is still going to be playing Red Kayn. This is 11.2. So it's not the crazy one-shot things that Yue pointed out. As Yue pointed out. This is more likely still a Red Kayn patch, but we'll have to see.
Yeah, he's gonna have to probably look for some sort of things in the bot lane. He may just have to accept the fact and try and farm as many orbs as he can to sort of accelerate the lockout, where you can try before you can change into pick the other form. But if you're Kayn, you do of course want that transformation as early as possible. But if you can supplement that with items by just diving, oh never mind, bot lane.
Yeah, it's a bit of a scrap. It's just a trade at the moment. Elio getting the worst of that one by far. Didn't proc his aftershock until it was far too late. Good job by Taki reading the situation and knowing that they could get a good trade.
Yeah, and Taki has had very good sort of showings up on the Alistar. His laning on this champion is actually really good on a champion that's not the easiest to lane on. But as it is, they've got the shove in. Drakthar is covering in the bot side. Both junglers will peek into each other's jungles, but both weak sides of the map playing very safe, not gonna let any opportunities happen. So gonna be a quick reset. Kayn gonna be out on the map slightly faster, but they are exactly even the junglers were in like a hot sync here. That was ridiculous. They both did a full clear and with a crab went back after poking their heads into each other's jungle. That was like when you're watching a speed run and both runners are playing really well because they were completely synced. That was great. This does actually favor SGB a little bit though, because
Glory.
And using his flash there, not actually going to be able to finish off the kill, but he's gonna stop the back. So that means if Kayn so chooses, he has pressure in bot and in mid. They can just sort of roam down and try and take this dragon away for free. Whereas Glory, he's gonna teleport back quite early with a rather not a back timing he really wants, but he needed to match Froggy's earlier base.
Yeah, this is definitely not ideal for Glory. BJ coming in is just going to hover around, help Froggy shove the wave in. Froggy's not going to farm the minions anyway. May as well give it to BJ. But Glory still happy enough, just kind of scaling up. You know, he's not in any rush. He is obviously, this is Azir. A champion we don't actually see a huge amount of in the VCS. Azir kind of slept on. Did Drakthar miss that his Raptor camp wasn't taken? Yeah, there was a chicken nugget in there.
Yeah, clean up that baby chicken, man. I mean, he may just be looking to get a later once he's crossed, so he has that extra bit of golden experience for a potential rotation into the dragon. But at this point, that's just going to be a bit of a camp lead to Kayn. Not like too much. He's only got that, it's like half a camp lead. So, but that means Olaf is on the bot side. Bit of trading on the top lane going well for Husmid, but TH being pretty much even in CS with the wave sort of building up against him. Yeah, that's really healthy for
Oh,
her.
there's a wall being
Flag.
used. Froggy
Oh.
in some trouble, has to hit the chrono break. But now Drakthar's got to find a way out. He uses the flash, but there's an Umbral Trespass, and there's a dead
That was way
Olaf.
too late. That ultimate was way too late. As soon as you see Taki coming out of the bush, you should be hitting that so the knockup doesn't come through. But
I don't think
Too
he
much
had
damage.
6. I think he hit 6 halfway through the play. I'd have to go. I have to wait for the replay, but I think he hit 6 halfway through.
Yeah, we'll have to wait for the replay. You'll have to determine because my stream is really laggy.
Yeah, so is mine. Don't worry. Glory is in a lot of trouble though, as Husmed collapsing on in the easiest kill Froggy has ever been gifted. Oh, Husmed, be careful. Ooh, gets out. Ooh, Husmed is attracting some
Froggy,
jungle
maybe?
attention.
It's gonna
but
have to do a little bit.
Hook shot's okay. I think something might have gone wrong with
Oh,
the
but
Froggy's
Vladimir
dead.
in the river. Yep, Froggy's dead, and Vladimir gets cut off by being.
Let's have a look at this replay.
Get
Marby,
that
you are
kill
lagged.
into Husmed, but Froggy had to make his way out through the bot lane. Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're having
I give
some
up.
tech issues. We're having some tech issues at the
Uh,
moment. I'm not sure if the output on the stream is as laggy, but for the two of us, it's very bad at the moment. Okay, I'm just gonna have to quickly. fix
my
things.
stream is like in 480p.
Yeah, I was having the same issue.
Yeah.
It's fine. I've managed to fix
So-
it with a restart. So for now, I'll just radio cast until you can get stuff fixed, Marby. Blame Australian internet. It's not doing well today. But yeah, Froggy did just get found on his way out. He wasn't able to evacuate. Big Koro was gifted that kill. The Olaf was level 5 when that play happened, so he hit the ultimate as soon as he could.
Okay.
It was way too late, as
what?
he said, but he didn't have much of a
Taki
choice.
is dead. There was a bot lane trade that went on in the in that replay. Judging by the positioning, it looks like maybe they attempted a dive or Taki was caught on the tower or something. I'm not sure. We're gonna have to catch that when we get back. But that's another kill over to Big Koro and Elio. Just a straight up 2v2 kill. It looks like.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
have a look at
just
what
see-
actually happens here.
Taki tries for a big engage, but a huge feather storm coming out of Big Koro. Roots up both, and Ariety tries. Ellie a good flash means that with him in the minion wave when the Q goes off, they absorb a good chunk of Kaiser's damage, so he's able to actually flash out away.
Yeah, that should be fine. Well played there out of the BTS bot side. I can't actually read the gold right now due to the stream quality, but we're gonna have to change up how we're doing this between games. Just by the way, production, because it's not working
Good
today.
chance.
We do have Froggy getting his blue buff. BJ still not transformed. I'd be curious what the progress on that one is.
So it appears to be about a 1 to 2k gold lead for the side of SGB. Good chunk of that is probably coming out of the sort of first blood and the extra CS in that bot lane, but it's hard to. Oh no, I can finally read it. It's about 500 gold after that dragon, so that's actually really good for BTS with a lot of scaling options on their side. Plus that extra Infernal Drake to buff up their stats as that goes on. That's gonna equate to well more than 500 gold eventually. At right now, it's probably still a little bit less because 3% of not a lot is still not a lot. So we're gonna see, but both teams are
hang
playing
on.
extremely well. TH may be in trouble.
No, he's okay. He does just
Nope.
puddle away the Hemo Plague as well, making sure he is very, very safe. The Vladimir will escape. He's actually having a really good time in this lane. He's got a bit of a lead on Husmed. Husmed, of course, went for a bit of a roam, allowing this Vladimir to get a bit of a lead, scaling up well, and that's exactly what BTS want to see.
And it's also worth noting, didn't actually pick this up earlier, but that is an Omni Stone on the Ignite.
Mhm. Yes,
Meow.
it is.
So, just go Fleet Footwork or Conqueror at that point. I still hate.
Husmed, very
I still
low.
hate it.
No,
It's
no dive.
BTH. being just good. I to blow up.
You lagged out once again, Marby. I'm sorry if I'm talking over you, but Froggy has been caught out here. We are having a lot of tech issues tonight. I am sorry. I am currently casting off a 144p stream. This is a bit rough. Marby is lagging quite a lot as well. Oh boy. We're doing our best. As Glory is not doing his best, as he's 0-2.
I can't see it.
It's fine for me now. It's just coming into full focus for me, so I'm actually all good. Oh, never mind. Oh no. What happened?
Oh no.
There we go. We're back. Okay, I'm back at least, as TH has just been solo killed. Oh, Glory missing the Shurima shuffle there. That was really, really bad. He just gets absolutely destroyed by Froggy there in that replay. We come back to live. Froggy's going under tower, has the Echo ult to keep him safe. That was terrible by Glory.
Bro, I don't know what to tell you. I'm seeing a black screen.
You need to close it and reopen. It's fine for me now.
Yeah.
As TH does escape the Taki pressure, but he is going to lose both of his towers here. This is a bit of a disaster in the top side. As Huzmed kind of pumps him. Are you back in? Am I like just alone, guys? Hi.
Hello.
Yeah.
So what happened to Froggy here? Oh.
Yeah, it might be worth just your way coming in a little bit, I think. Until you get your stuff fixed, Marby. Yeah, I can't. This is
Yeah.
real bad for tech issues. Your way, can you cast for just a sec? Because you actually have an output.
Yeah. I can see everything. I'm not sure what's going on in Australia. Somehow they've not only cut the news, but also the feeds, apparently. So Froggy is actually dominating his lane. Up in CS against Glory. I think the first time we've seen Froggy up in CS in, I'm not sure, ever? He's also 2 levels ahead, so the super hard to execute 1-3-1 composition off to a great start by SGDB. And after solo kills in either solo lane, the 2 most important parts of the 1-3-1 composition, the solo laners, are very far ahead. So I can see a bright future for this one. They still need to execute quite a lot, and BTS has managed to come back from big disadvantages, as Glory's trying. Nope. Froggy, very safe.
Get shuffled away. Can you give me your timestamp, my friend?
14:23, 4, 5.
I will catch you. I'm a couple seconds behind, but I will fix that. As Froggy, once again, getting away. I'm at 32, 33.
You're still like 2-4 seconds behind.
Okay. Alright, well,
42,
sorry about this, everyone.
43.
We are, for some reason, the way we normally do our feed is just completely broken, as is Marby. So we're just going to have to work things out as we go. There is a dragon being taken here by BTS, claiming that one, moving up to a second stack of the Drakes, but they are still 2k gold down.
I may be fixed.
Okay.
They're slightly behind it now.
Alright.
Ahead now. Dragon is being taken on the screen right now, 15 and 11, and Drukther claims that one. But still 2.5k behind, so not the greatest.
I'm paused at 15:30. Please tell me we're there.
Yes.
We'll get this fixed after this game, don't worry guys, but we just
8,
can't do
9, and 30.
There we go. Thank you. Sorry about that, everyone. Marby, are you in sync as well? Do you have a feed?
Yep, the normal method is working for me now.
Oh, it's working? Okay, cool. We'll go off that then. Your way, thank you for helping out. Hopefully you don't need to again, though, as BTS do manage to secure their mid lane tower. Well, defend it for now, I should say. It's only on a sliver of health, though. Froggy down in the bot side, doing a pretty good job. This 1-3-1 comp actually kind of being executed.
Yeah, it's working out extremely well. They've got this good tower advantage. They are playing with their pressure extremely well, applying it all at the same time. and BTS just looking a little bit lost as to where to go. It's very well warded up for Hasmed, but the Echo just is an Echo. It's extremely hard to try and get down on top of that with the low CC composition that BTS has. They really have to wait for these big sort of team fights. Just try and maintain as much control over the dragon and the neutral objectives as you can, and then look to get one of those sort of team fights. But at this point, you're at 4K in the hole. Now your team fights are looking a little bit harder at this point. Glory really far behind on getting into his mythic.
Yeah, this Azir is not doing very well at all. Really needs to catch that one up. But the Vladimir is still doing fantastic. But Big Koro needs to get his outplay going. There is a Galio ult coming in. Does he have access to the Featherstorm? He does not. But BJ might have gone a bit too far if they can get any more damage onto him, which they can't quite do. Froggy is out of mana. And that play from SGB goes very poorly.
Yeah, very well played out of the bot lane from BTS. They show up massive. Big Koro basically playing that 1v2 and surviving against a double assassin comp. Two assassins versus 1 ADC. That is that's not meant to happen. That's not meant to happen at all. But Big Koro, he comes out really well in that fight. He shows up massive. Like, gotta say, big props. Those shoes paying off.
Yeah, absolutely. Those dancing shoes laced up very tight. As we just have to sort of continue this one. I don't think we have a Kane transformation yet at 18 minutes. No. That's getting not great. He really needs to get that transformation. I think
he's really been limited by his lockout, by the BTS composition. So you can see his build. He wants that Rasp, but if you looked at his model now, that's still very much not a Darkin. That is very much a man with a scythe, and he is very upset about the fact that he is still not a big monster man.
Ooh, Froggy going on the tower, playing very aggressive on this Echo. He gets a decent trade there. TH, of course, is Vlad, so we'll be able to heal a lot of it up. But definitely a good showing from Froggy so far on this very aggressive pick. Not something that we necessarily associate with Froggy. But so far doing very, very well. Has solo killed Glory twice. The teleport to the top side is coming in. They're going to try and get Glory again. He spreads his wings to try and get away. Summons the Sun Disc. Now Hasmed going very deep, and the safety teleport will make sure the Emperor lives another day.
Yeah, great response from Glory. Very early flash to get out of there. Sun Disc coming in as well means that Hasmed, he probably, if he finished off that teleport from Froggy, they may have been able to dive it, but TH making sure that is 100% not an option, as diving the Azir and the Vladimir under the tower, probably not the best with how squishy the Camille is at this point.
No, and it is the lead has grown somewhat here for SGB, despite the fact that we haven't really had it much bloodshed. It's a very, very slow game for VCS standards. Only 7 kills at 20 minutes, but it is a growing lead.
It's going to slow down a little bit more. Yeah, it's going to slow down a little bit more as SGB is in position for this dragon at 10 seconds. BTS doesn't really care about that. They just want to use that extra 5 minutes to get as much gold onto their carries as they can. It's just one Cloud Drake. You're not really going to be bothered by that. Sure, extra ultimates on Froggy and Hasmed are going to be annoying, but it's nothing you can't deal with, especially if you can use this opportunity to maybe break that top tower, and get more gold onto your Azir, bring him back to parity with this Echo, who is already on 2 items and doing a lot for SGB at this moment.
Yeah, it really is. Of course, that Cloud Drake, as the game goes on, means less and less. Echo cooldown, ult cooldown gets so low that 10% reduction is really not very much. We'll have to see how he sorts that out. Froggy up here in the top side, doing a good job just constantly being in the side lanes, making sure that they are pushing in favor of SGB. He can't really get anything done in this top lane. It's not like he's going to be knocking on the inhibitor doors this early. But he's definitely a threat and constantly demanding someone to be there with him. BTS are kind of having to opt into the 131 as well, alongside SGB. Still no Kane transformation. This is really late.
And I mean, look at BJ. He is 001. There has been very little fighting going on around this Kane. And because of that, he's been he's been starved of these souls. So he's been shadowing his laners extremely well, but those haven't really amounted to all that much. So he hasn't been able to actually
We
get
haven't
the souls.
engaged
But
though, as Froggy's in some trouble, but Glory misses another shuffle. Come on, man, slide to the left. But Froggy, very low, and he will go down. The burn finishing him off. Glory redeeming himself. Doesn't matter if you miss the shuffle, as long as you get
with
the
that,
kill
they're
in the
turning on
end.
Baron.
And they're straight on Baron. They have so much Baron damage with a Xayah and an Azir.
Yeah, but grouped up for a Taki and a Kai, for an Alistar and a Kai'Sa.
2k health.
Finally coming in.
Yep, they're going to engage, but the Baron has been secured. So we've got a 4v5 fight. Taki going low immediately. Galio ult is used, giving everyone that magic shield. Taki is gone. And now SGB are on the wrong side of the map. This might have been a mistake, but they do manage to spread to the wins, and BTS is not going to take any risks chasing them down. But it's a big win for them. Ariety could be in some trouble with Glory coming in with that teleport speed. Can they get on top of this Kai'Sa? They can. And that's a shutdown for the Emperor. TH goes low, but Husmed goes lower as he gets claimed in the top side. And BTS with a massive, massive swing.
That is a massive turnaround, and they're going to be able to use this Baron to pick up even more gold. There is so much standing on the map. They've brought the gold back to even, and they still have now 3 towers left that they can take to match SGB. That is just going to be free gold with this Baron, and they're going to get so much out of this. Husmed, why? How did you die? Did BJ and Husmed try and turn onto TH? It's not going to work. You're only working with half a BJ. He's still not transformed. But here we see Froggy reaches a little bit too far. Didn't really comment on it because thought it's an echo. He's getting out, but no, had good taunt set up from Elio. Means he had to ult back to an even worse position, and Glory's able to pick that up. That turns into the Baron. Then a very questionable 4v5 engage.
Yeah.
BJ was just not able to get into that Baron. Thus, they lose the fight with the numbers disadvantage, and
it's even worse. The engage was 3v5. Husmed was channeling his teleport as the engage happened.
Yeah, and then here,
So
Husmed
silly.
re-engages onto TH. BJ is nowhere to be seen, ends up fighting a 2v1. Big Car comes in to sweep up that kill, and on the other side, a good teleport from Glory means him and Elio are able to pick up that kill onto Ariety as well, but Froggy's going in on TH.
Yeah, he is. Vladimir, though, just heads into the puddle and will manage to get away. But this is good by SGB. They are trading towers. The top lane push came in. I don't think we're quite there yet. And, one team is starting far bit ahead of the other. But this is actually a big misplay out of BTS. They're losing Inhibitor Tower. Just traded for the top inner. You take that every day of the week if you're SGB. That's a big push against the Baron.
Yeah, BTS really overloaded the top side to try and maximize their Baron, but because of that, they left the mid lane open, and SGB just ran it down mid, and Ariety, just face checks into a bush where an Olaf was. Just unlucky. Bush Olaf.
Yeah.
You can't mess with the Bush Viking.
You can't. We've got Techno Viking and now we've got Bush Viking. They are going to siege down this mid lane. With Ariety dead, this is going to be very difficult for SGB to stop. We have a transformed Kane! 25 minutes! Woo! He's done it! He's transformed!
That's I think the slowest professional Kane I've seen.
It's very slow. There's finally a decent shuffle out of Glory, knocking 2 of them to the side. BJ buys some time with the Umbral Trespass and then gets over the wall. Drakthar wants to hunt him down though, but Kane, he's a very slippery boy. Manages to get away over that wall. Taki re-engaging. They want to try and clean up Drakthar, but with the teleport coming in, I believe this might be some steak dinner as Taki goes down. Can Froggy get away? He can to that ultimate, but on the other side, BJ has been baked. Ariety going low. TH, he's found his way into the back line, and he's going to drain the blood from the rest of the Buffalo. And I believe this might be BTS picking up game 1. It started
Late
so
game.
well for SGP.
It started so well, but that one swing in their mid lane got the gold back to even, and then you have the late game team fighting comp, and so they just late game team fight.
Yeah, this was bad decision making from SGB in the back half of this game, but very well done by BTS. They will claim a couple of extra kills. TH gets his KDA ruined, but the Nexus will be claimed, which is what matters, of course. BTS take the 1-0 lead over SGB.
Yeah, game about as scuffed as our production, but BTS are going to take that. They need as much. They need as much as they can get right now because 0-3, it's rough. We've said they don't deserve to be there, and they're making a statement by being able to try and claw their way, if they can claw their way into it against SGB.
That we are, and I assume production is ready for it, but we will be back in just a little bit. We'll hopefully fix up all of our tech issues in the break. We do apologize for that. That was on us. Normally it's on VATV, but this time it was on us. I do apologize, but don't go anywhere, guys. We'll have that fixed up, and we'll bring you the rest of today's games in just a little bit. Welcome back, everybody. We have hopefully fixed our issues for this second game. BTS currently leads 1-0 over SGB. It was a strong early game from SGB, but the wheels fell off the wagon, and they fell off the wagon hard. We welcome your way back to the desk, of course. And what was your take on game one?
Well, I said BTS, or SGB rather, had the comp that is too hard to execute, and that held true, right? And they dominated the early game, 3k gold lead. They won both solo lanes with solo kills from either side, but in the end, just not enough. Weren't able to execute in team fights, and their composition wasn't really supposed to do team fights. Big shout out to Druktha though. I really liked his weird flank that actually opened up the game. I think BTS was firmly in control after getting the Baron and winning the teamfight there, but the game would have probably extended for another 10 minutes if not for the pick on the Zarya. So very, very cool thinking there from Druktha. In the moment, snap decision making just to camp in that bush, and no one is ever going to expect in a retreat movement the enemy jungler in that bush. So cool creative thinking, and enabled them to close the game 10 minutes earlier than they were supposed to do with that late game composition.
Yeah, it was very smart. Marby, what were some of your takeaways?
Yeah, it started off really well for BTS. Not BTS, sorry, SGB. But yeah, once they were able to get that first pick onto Froggy, they snowballed that into a Baron, and then they kept killing, at least finding picks onto at least one or two members, which means there was no real point after that where SGB could rally around each other and be a 5-man unit for a team fight. So they just kept getting blasted in mismatched team fights, and that was just exactly what BTS needed to just roll through with this reduced pressure, that just because SGB couldn't rally themselves and get that 5-man core back onto the map. So very good use of picks, very good use of just going from one objective, snap decision making once you got that Baron. And they did snuff it a little bit with letting them push into that inhibitor, but once they got another pick in that bush onto a variety, just again kept forcing fights while there was an advantage, made sure that there was never a 5-man group for SGB to work around.
Yep, it was very impressive for sure from BTS the way they managed to close that one out. But going into game two, your way, what can SGB change? Particularly in the draft, to get themselves over the line.
Pick an easier to execute composition. Like, I think SGB looked like the better team here, or maybe not the better team, but the better players. Let's take it, or let's put it like that, because they won all the lanes. They were ahead by so much. Just play an easier to execute team composition. I'm not sure why you come in after a break, first stage game, even though they are playing from home. And play this harder composition to execute, especially against the late game team. Like, maybe you approach a GAM game like this, where you're like, okay, maybe we have the off chance of getting a one-off here with weird composition they're not ready for. But against BTS, why would you try that? Just outplay them mechanically. You're the better players. You have the momentum, even though it's a little bit stopped right now from the long pause. It's still a super good start for SGB, so I would just like to see them go back to what has worked for them before. Just play team fights, play normal composition, and it should be enough.
Yeah, makes sense.
Playing your comfort is definitely the thing I mostly suggest for SGB. Get Froggy on one of those champs that can make those roams in a more traditional method, not the Echo. Bring something like the Galio or the Twist of Fate that brings the CC. Be the setup. Don't be the carry, because that's not really what you're good at. Granted, yes, you've been good at that on the Kalista sort of thing, but generally, I don't think that's what SGB really needs. Just play what you're used to.
We are heading into the draft here, and SGB, I think they don't want to run back of game one, as they banned 3 champions that were present in game one. BTS sticking to what they did last time. Seraphine and Na removed, SGB removed Olaf. Azir and Camille Udyr will be the final ban. SGB has first pick, and they're instantly going to change things up. Where do you think they might go, Yule?
So, I feel like they were very, very glad to pick the ADC counter matchup, so they might just go Xayah again, but they left up the Rel, so that's dangerous. I think Xayah is pretty decent into Rel, so this might be another option. They could also try to snatch the Kai'Sa away. Not sure if I like that. Kai'Sa Rel is a super strong combination, so denying Kai'Sa Rel for the late game engages and also lane synergy is probably the good call, so I don't mind the Kai'Sa here. Opens up some of the counter picks into the Kai'Sa though. Samira is still strong on this patch as well, and Samira Rel is a fearsome bot lane.
Yeah, very fearsome. You could go look for something like an Alistar or again the Galio if they do look to go for that mirror pick. So I don't actually think that you have to worry that much. You can also lock in something like this Gragas for a lot of flexibility. That can go into 3 positions. Gives you a very strong chance of just having a very good jungler, a decent top laner, a decent support, and that can, and at that one that can really put a wrench in what Rel's trying to do.
Okay. This
What's
is a Rel Hecarim engage. That's pretty fearsome, to say the least. Xayah will be the ADC taken away by SGB. Very high priority on the Xayah. Samira still available. This is 11.2. This is still when Samira is very, very strong.
Yeah,
What
a
do you
little
think so
surprised, honestly, by the Xayah over the Samira, especially into something like Gragas. You can completely deny the Gragas engage if you position correctly and deny his ult, so not sure if I like it too much. I mean, I'm a big Xayah fan, so I always like to see Xayah, but also no follow-up potential on the super strong engage from Rel and Hecarim. Xayah, not really the greatest follow-up ADC. She likes to fight defensively, she likes to come from behind and then maybe slowly chase her targets with her W speed. Not sure if you can here, so I would have really liked preferred the Samira, but maybe Bikoro more comfortable on the Xayah, and it worked very nicely in the first game. He was at least my MVP, so maybe a little bit more. The other side, Bikoro is on the other side. What am I talking about? The Xayah still worked, so this time around they are denying it from Bikoro after the great performance.
Well, it's not really even that much of a deny because Kai'Sa was already locked. So they're just picking it because that's what Ariety's comfortable with. That so far BTS has, again, they're targeting out the options for Froggy, Twisted Fate and Orianna. Twisted Fate's just one of Froggy's best champions. Orianna set up with a Hecarim and a Rel can get some excellent wombos off. If I'm BTS, maybe I do look into just picking away the Galio there and then putting that Gragas most likely up towards into the top lane. I think that's probably the best option because that also removes another follow-up thing to go with the Hecarim, but gonna blind pick the Aatrox instead, leave.
I hate it.
And that's gonna that also guarantees you're gonna have a support Gragas, so you're gonna have to wait to see what Rory's got for that counter pick.
What,
Yeah, that
why?
Aatrox pick is atrocious.
This is so random. Why pick Aatrox here?
It is 11.2. It is still
I mean, I don't mind
ridiculously broken.
I don't mind Aatrox in your comp, but why pick it here? It completely blows up your Gragas flex potential. It's blind when it didn't need to be. Like, I don't understand why. Again, it is 11.2. Like, I don't hate picking Aatrox. We saw what Yoshino could do on Aatrox yesterday, even if he didn't win that. But why here? Pick it.
Yeah.
R5.
And now Froggy's going to grab that Galio for himself, so there's some very strong follow-up on that Hecarim now.
Yeah,
With the,
look at this
Galio and
SGB
the
composition. This is how you would describe SGB. Very mechanically intensive, solo kill focused champion, or at least solo execution focused champion in the top lane for Hasmid, the main carry. We have a carry jungler for BeanJ with a lot of priority, and then the supportive champ in the mid lane. So this is very much SGB's wheelhouse here.
Aatrox mid. Aatrox.
Okay, that's Aatrox mid. They predicted the Galio, I suppose, and that was their decision to flex that in.
Okay.
It's a
that
long
explains the
time
R4
since we've
Aatrox,
seen the
at least.
Aatrox in mid lane. Wow.
Lucian would have been better. Tristana
I
would have
don't-
been better.
I
reckon.
don't dislike the EA Aatrox in mid lane to pressure the Galio, also to force him into anti-AD itemization. But I'm very scared for TH. Challenging the Irelia here in a long lane with Wukong against Hasmid, one of the most mechanically proficient top laners. So TH really needs to step up here. If he gets solo killed by Hasmid like he did last game, it's going to be very, very scary because there are so many reinforcements on the side of SGB to just double down on top lane and let Hasmid run away with the game.
Absolutely.
What do we think of this BTS comp, lads? I'm having a hard time with it. Marby, what do you think? What has BTS done?
BTS has big brains themselves into a bit of a situation. They went for the Aatrox flex, and I think just going for the simple Galio and then put your Gragas up into the top lane as a tank, and then finish off with a Zoe, or if you want the Galio mid, some kind of more niche support counter to the Rel. Not that I can really think of one off the top of my head. So I think, yeah, should have just gone R4 Galio, then finish off with a Zoe pick, because Galio into Rel is still extremely fine. It's an extremely fine matchup, but it all comes down to can Glory execute on this Aatrox, and he didn't have the best game last time, but Glory is still a pretty good player, so maybe it was just a bad game.
Well, Yue, give us your final words, and are we going to game 3?
Yeah, probably. But I actually really like the Wombo combo potential from BTS, so surprise me, BTS. I want to see the big Wombo with all the knock-up effects and all the displacement with follow-up from the carries as well. So I'm hopeful, but I think it's probably going to 3 as well.
Righto, well, we'll talk to you again after this game, or before the next one, depending on how it goes. As we do see BJ. Oh, it's a double horses. I didn't even think of that synergy.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 horses versus 1, so we're gonna see a bit of a equine off in the jungle, and well, Taki has horses' clothes, and as we all know, that is the superior form of horse.
Look, let's not get into the minutiae of whose horses is better. It's just good to see the horse rep on the riff. As in the mid lane, we do just obviously have this Aatrox, a strange pick. It's been a long, long time since we've seen Aatrox in the short solo lane.
Yeah.
But
in some ways,
up
this
against
really
Galio, it's fine. Up against the Galio, it's just going to be a bit of a farm fest, I think.
Yeah, I think in some ways it actually really benefits Galio quite a bit, because it's another melee champion, so you're not going to get harassed quite as much. So I say that Froggy appears to be taking a little bit of harass from those Qs, but this top lane, early experience lead for Hasmed. TH really just going to have to wait quite a while to get anything going up here. And oh man, he has been level 1 for a while. He's going to have to work to get that gold.
Yeah, this is obviously the Hasmed effect. He gets a huge top priority here. Not too surprising against it. Ooh, Taki with a decent engage, but it's level 1 versus level 2, so perhaps didn't think it through quite enough. That is still advantageous for SGB though, as their support took all the damage versus Big Koro taking it all for BTS. So well played out of the Rel. The Monkey still not in the best position here, struggling a little bit against Irelia early, but no big deal.
Some harassment down, force Big Karo and Elio back. But yeah, you're level 1. It's going to be rough for you. Meanwhile, Froggy definitely has that lane priority, because Galio just has that Q, which gets so much wave push in. Whereas Glory, he has to work a little bit harder, as that Q damage to minions is not very strong in the early game.
No, it's not. So Glory is actually now about 8 CS down. Not something we often say about players going against Froggy. But the CS lead is there due to those Winds of War, as you said. Drakthar having a look at this bottom lane. I don't think he's going to be able to find a way in. far too pushed back, just kind of covering at the
No,
moment.
very low CC.
Sorry.
Very low CC. Can't quite get the angle in with the wave in the state it is, but mostly it's just making sure BJ isn't able to make his way down there. But oh no, Elio may have stepped far forward, and that's a heal force from Bigoro.
It is, but he's okay. It's just the summoner. Taki with control of that brush. Glory getting taunted up, but did get a bit of damage onto Froggy. Again, he's getting shoved in. He's now 10 CS down. He'll catch up a little bit as this wave thuds into the tower. TH stunned up on the top side. Husmed looking to get aggressive, but won't dive under tower. Good thing he didn't, because here's Drakthar. Lilia wants to turn the fortunes of her top laner around, gets a Dark Harvest stack. It is
that's the
chasing on
flash.
down. The flash is there, but the kill is there as well. And Lilia pops off, gets the first kill, and the Lilia fan club goes wild.
Harsmed trying to hold on to his flash, but that gives TH the opportunity to just flash on top of him and that means once he flashes, Drakthar can follow up for the kill. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, flashes were forced out of... Well, Froggy appears to have forced a flash out of Glory in response. Probably didn't expect it to be... Probably flash taunt expecting a BJ follow-up, but good flash from Glory. Keeps him alive, but does force him back a little bit. So, lane CS pretty even, and it's really just a gold lead in the top lane. As we're going to see here, it's TH engaging very well onto Harsmed, but other way around. Harsmed engaging well onto TH, but yeah, but then the turnaround happens. Drakthar arrives. Harsmed holds his flash for so long that TH is able to
come back
get
alive
out a bit
though.
of
We
extra
have
damage.
another fight as the Cyclone is there. TH hits 6 first due to getting that assist, but BJ is around to try and force the monkey back. He gets to his tower though, and he will be safe. But the Cyclone is on CD, and a dive could be set up.
Dive could be set up indeed. 6 on BJ and Harsmed now. Has to be extremely careful for
outplays
TH.
the E, but can't outplay the ult. There's the Vanguard's edge, and the Vanguard will charge forward for the proletariat. And Harsmed will pick up a revenge kill. The Irelia is back in control.
Yep. TH, you had to know that was coming, but see the jungler on the top side. BTS respond by picking up this dragon. TH absolutely needed to back off there once he sees the 6 on the Hecarim. You should know that you're going to die. Backed off too late to really get to his second tower, but also, so at that stage he may have been better off just trying to outplay it under turret and force tower shots to go through onto BJ, because
Potentially.
he was probably going to die, because, well, he did end up dying anyway. So that may have been the play, but this better play would have been just to leave much earlier.
Yeah, I mean, TH, I think what happened there was a little bit of frustration. He didn't want to let that massive wave just die to the tower and not get anything from it, because he's already so far down in CS. He is currently, Harsmed is doubling his CS. That won't be true for much longer, as he does have a wave, but it's a 30 CS gap. This is going very, very badly for TH, and we were saying this in the break off air. TH's job is to control Harsmed. If Harsmed can't stomp top lane and influence the rest of the map, SGB can't win. This game, it looks like Harsmed's going to be able to influence the map, and that's already a bad thing if you're a BTS fan.
Yeah, and if you were worried about being bullied around in lane, you may as well have just picked something like the Gragas, flex that into the top lane, so you have just this big beefy tank that doesn't care that much if he falls behind. He's still providing huge amounts of CC, huge amounts of just a big beefy frontline that makes Ariety wish he hate Fat Man, because it's in his face, and big Fat Man in your face is quite an unpleasant experience, so I've been told.
Oh my god. As the Rift Herald is picked up here for B&J. Dear god, dude. Rift Herald has been secured, a tower plate traded, but Big Coral will only get the 1 tower plate, so it's definitely a winning play here for SGB. No Shelly bargains where they lose an entire tower for a Rift Herald, and it's all around not worth it. This was much better. And just down to that top lane pressure, B&J just walked up, took the Herald by himself. It was super, super easy On the other side, we didn't comment on it. There was the dragon taken by
We commented on it.
BTS. We did? Okay.
Yep.
My bad. I forgot.
Yeah, it was a good bit of map play from Binjay. Froggy and Hasmed have this pressure in the solo lane, so that means that entire top half of the jungle does belong to SGB. Good use on that. Don't have to bring your bot lane up at all and sacrifice too much. They lost one plate on a reset. That's it. But it's just these solo lanes building up the advantage for SGB, and it's netted them almost a 1,000 gold lead. 100 gold lead would not be worth talking about. As Glory and Froggy going at it, but
Yeah,
Froggy
it's a wet noodle fight.
very good at keeping away from whatever Glory tries to do.
Yeah, this is, I don't think much is going to happen in this mid lane. As was said earlier, it's just a bit of a farm fest. We need to see Froggy getting out of the lane, and as I say it, he's done it. The BTS bot side have backed right off, but this is probably first tower yet. With the Rift Herald being summoned up, Elio is going to move forward, throws in the barrel. They're going to try and turn something around. A lot of damage to Ariety, but up into the Featherstorm. Elio will be the first one to fall, but this fight has legs. Marby, as the tower goes low, Taki goes down, BJ gets altered forward, Big Koro can't quite catch him. That is a fast pony. They can't get there. The Swirl Seed misses. The Lilting Lullaby is not available either. Araya very low. Should go down to Glory momentarily. It's actually going to be Drakthar that picks up the kill. Ariety died as well. That Kai'Sa W was about 3 frames from catching a backing Hecarim. My word, that was close.
Yeah, B&J on this week's episode of I Shouldn't Be Alive, because got away on an absolute sliver of health after that big car ultimate. Narrowly gets away from that W. And really good opportunity from spotting that of opportunity from Elio, able to just pop the entire bot lane back into the tower. And I mean, good work from Variety and get response from Froggy to keep them alive as long as they did, but the collapse from BTS was just a little bit better. Plus they had the tower working on their side to take down Taki, so it wound up being a bit of a 4 versus 4.5, and that work ends up being a big advantage for BTS, even though that first tower does end up going the way of SGB.
Gold-wise,
probably about even overall.
Yeah, gold-wise, I think they go about even there. However, the Rift Herald was invested.
Yes.
So BTS is pretty happy with the outcome, I think, particularly because they got the gold in the right places. Their Lilia continues to get bigger. Aatrox picking up a kill is nice as well. And of course, Big Koro getting one. Doesn't need to be explained. But up on the top side, we have the top laners going back and forth. Bonky Kong comes out on top for now. But Husmed has that passive stack. Can they keep this one going? Dragon on the other side does go the way of SGB. And the top laners do seem to have backed off from each other for now.
Yeah,
never mind. Husband going under tower. He's back to full health. Irelia, everyone. Cool champion. And
Irelia
that is
has
the easiest
got a
kill
book,
ever.
it seems to me, and that is just item advantage, giving Husband that ability to regen in lane and thus dive the Wukong who cannot. So, very, very good showing out of Husband, not utilizing his CS lead and the item advantage it has given him to its full effect, as Froggy just goes in for a little bit of harass, but takes the tower shot for his trouble. That'll earn them a plate. So overall, across the map, that's just a big victory for SGB. Didn't lose anything taking the dragon, gets a solo kill on that top side, and now they're gonna have to send Aatrox up there to try and deal with Asmed, because Asmed is just so hard to deal with.
Yeah, you can say that again. Playing very, very well on this Irelia, much better than the first game where he couldn't really get anything going on the TH's. Vlad was just a little bit too capable for that. And this is a very good early game here for SGB. They are only 1,000 gold ahead. That's not the biggest lead we've ever seen, but it is still good. But the important thing is that they're opening up parts of the map. They're taking the bot lane tower down. The top lane tower should fall soon enough, particularly once the plates are gone and it becomes very squishy. And the gold is going to the right places. Husmed has 2 kills. We know what Husmed does with momentum. He's a very, very mental player, in the sense that when he starts well, he can just pop off and carry games that he should never be allowed to carry. But if he starts badly, it's the exact opposite. He started well this game, and that bodes well for SGB.
Yes, it does. And you can see that they've got really good idea of how to keep the pressure up on all three lanes. That's going to be an uncontested tower for Variety. And so despite everything, he's still actually going to, with that local gold, he's going to be finally up and ahead of Big Koro. But that's the top lane difference. 2,000 gold, all in the top lane. Everyone else is just about even. Just that small lead for Variety, but there's top lane. Hasmed, man.
Yeah, Hasmed.
Hasmed.
There's a reason we talk about this guy. It is very interesting that I thought it was super interesting coming into this split that he was still on this team, because SGB kind of taking the rebuild, picking up a lot of rookies. I thought Hasmed was a little bit wasted on this composition because he is that good. He's an extremely good top laner when he's on form. The problem with Hasmed is he's not super consistent. But speaking of Hasmed, we'll have to see how he does in this fight, because it's going to be an important one. As the Vanguard's Edge diving on forward, Drakthar goes gold. It's a double lilting lullaby. They spread them around. Big Koro can't really enter the fight as Taki is the first to fall. BJ will follow him to the grave, but Ariety picks up a kill onto the monkey, flashing over the wall. Froggy stuck in the pit for now, but that's a really good blade caller out of Variety. Well done there. But it's not going to matter as he gets found. It's only Hasmed left alive, and as much as I hype him up, he's not going to win a fight like that. There it is. The blooming bow comes in from Lilia, cleans him up, and SGB are cleaned off the rift.
And that looked so bad at the start for BTS. They start off by trading Taki for TH, and Ariety on the one side was outplaying their team, outplaying the Wukong and the Aatrox extremely well, but on the other side, Hasmed wasn't able to quite get it. So we see at the start, Froggy and Glory are called off, but BJ and Ariety just doing so much work onto getting rid of TH. Actually, TH does actually knock out BJ, so never mind all that. But here is where it turns around. Hasmed runs away from the Big Koro and Drakthar, and then Froggy's trapped in a pit, and then big re-engage from Drakthar just to pick up Ariety. Then Hasmed's left on his lonesome. It's just very well spaced, even though on the outset it looked like it was going to be pretty rough for BTS, just with Hasmed getting on top of Big Koro early, but wasn't able to find the burst required.
Yeah, it really was. And I've got to say, Drakthar playing extremely well this game. He's someone we always have an eye on when BTS is playing, because he's a player that shows flashes of brilliance and shows flashes of being a very potentially good player. And then other times he's sort of dreadful. This is definitely a flash. He's having a lovely game on this Lilia. Interesting build, going that Zhonya's first. I like it though, honestly. I actually think it's a really good adaptation to how the game's been playing out. As the Rift Herald summoned up in the mid lane.
Yeah.
So I just want to give props to Drakthar. We know that the Drakthar fan club are a very passionate bunch. Ooh, Elio for sure. Glory.
Good engagement. Froggy wasn't quite able to convert that into a kill, but that is going to force him to back off. Doesn't have his teleport. Able to get a decent amount of health back, so won't have to back entirely, but now Glory's gone in.
Yeah, Glory's in some trouble. He goes gold with that stopwatch though. Taki going low, but BJ rips through the team, and the horse is here, doing so much damage. Drakthar getting some good sleeps. Can they clean him up? Froggy very, very low. Uses the ultimate, gets the shield on all of them. Ariety extremely low as well, but the Swirl Seed misses. Big Koro's in the middle of the enemy team. Not where you want to be, as the Kai'Sa Lilia has been found by Irelia. And we just say that Drakthar's playing well. We cursed him because he is shut down. And SGB regain the lead.
And BTS overchase. That's going to give up the dragon and a bit more gold into the pockets of SGB. That's not going to net them too much more beyond that dragon, but huge fumble in that team fight for BTS. Glory really not showing up on this Aatrox, just overstepping, getting blown up, not landing those Qs, and it's showing, just getting completely caught out. This is already after blowing the Gragas ultimate, just steps too far forward, gets perma CC'd, TH, way too squishy, can't do anything.
I feel like this was silly out of BTS. They really chased bad money here.
Yeah.
Like, Glory screwed up. Just, like, Glory made a big mistake. He's just dead. Don't chase all into this when you have no hope.
And Big Car are really trying to ult in to stop that ultimate cast coming off from Froggy. Just means he gets ported to his death, because you can't land the Q onto Froggy once he's in the animation. So just ends up ulting into a really poor position, and that means the rest of SGB can just fall on top of him and blow him up. And that is not what you want. As Glory gets out, I mean, Glory got out. That's technically, it's just like Saving Private Ryan. That you got the guy out, but everybody else died for it. Spoilers for a 21-year-old movie, by the way.
Yeah, I feel like you're allowed to spoil Saving Private Ryan. Guys, the Germans don't win. Crazy. It's the World War II movie. The Germans lose. Don't sound that upset, jeez.
Oh, you spoiled it.
Anyway, back on the game, our silliness way aside for now, there is a barrel thrown. Okay, Elio. Just bored, I think.
You tried.
You're not playing WoW. You don't need to use your cooldowns on cooldown. You're allowed to let them sit there. You're not going to miss a usage. It's all right.
Yeah. At the very least, try and save it for the big fight. Not just throwing him out randomly in the middle of your lane. But yeah, Elio is getting really hyphy, just trying to make something happen. Really, really upset at what happened in that last fight, but now Glory, he's blown his ultimate onto BJ.
Yeah, he's caught out here. Has to try and get away. A decent flash so that the Hecarim ult doesn't get him killed. But it's Glory again. This is the second game where he's been making some questionable decisions. His scoreline's okay in this one, but his play hasn't been great.
That's a teleport coming out from TH. Really scared there, and you wouldn't have needed to invest nearly that much if Elio just had the big barrel to knock everyone away from Glory. So poor ultimate usage means that they have to invest even more resources into making up for mistakes like Glory being caught out. Mistakes lead to more mistakes lead to mistakes. That's basically the case in this game for BTS, and they don't even have that huge late game scaling to fall back on. Sure, their late game is pretty decent, but it's not like SGB on the other side has bad scaling either. They've got an Irelia, they've got a Xayah. These do a lot of damage in the late game.
That they do. And speaking of scaling, interesting here to see the Kai'Sa going for the Kraken Slayer. Obviously, Gale Force is probably the more commonly seen one, particularly on 11.2. Kraken Slayer is by no means bad. It just kind of changes up how we think this Kai'Sa might play the fight. It's probably not the super deep dives into the backline where you one-shot someone. More a little bit front to back. Interesting to opt into that against a Xayah.
I think that makes a lot of sense, though, because of the rest of the composition. You've got 4 really beefy sort of frontliners that are just going to be trying to get on top of you. So you're going to want to work a lot on your auto spacing and just trying to keep yourself away from them and chip them down as fast as possible. And that's where the Kraken Slayer is going to come in handy. But yeah, maybe the Gale Force would have been better, because it's not like you don't melt through tanks reasonably quickly as a Kai'Sa with your passive anyway. So, and it's not like they're true tanks except for the Rel either. So maybe would have been better off Hasmed going for that Immortal Shield bow. Interesting. I don't actually really know what Irelia's best mythic at the moment is, but
on 11.2 it was Gordring.
Yeah, I would have thought
not saying Gore Drinker is very interesting.
I would have thought it was Gore Drinker, or maybe something along the lines of the Triforce.
Triforce is just a bad item. That's why Irelia is in a weird place, because Triforce is bad. It's just not a very good item.
True, Irelia is a lot more of a non-hit champion now, so I mean maybe Divine Sundero in a tanky matchup, but that's not really the case this game. So I
actually kind of like the shield bow. It's strange because this is Gore Drinker patch. This is 11.2. But I kind of like the shield bow.
Clips even.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, but either way, SGB gets a dragon completely uncontested. That's 5 minutes till the soul now. BTS, they are very close in gold. So it's not like they can't take a fight if they so choose, but they're just choosing not to. They just want to try and get try and hit as many breakpoints as they can, but I don't think there's going to be another really big breakpoint coming out in this next 5 minutes where they're going to have to actually look to fight things, because SGB is already running you around. That extra 10% movement speed is going to make you lose a lot of gold even faster.
Yeah, I don't really think... it's interesting, because BTS clearly don't really want to fight unless they get something absolutely incredible. SGB are happy to, though, as they charge on in way too far forward. Come on, you're against a Hecarim. He's going to chase you down.
Hecarim on a Cloud Rift at that. You are never getting away from that boy, and he is doing so much damage. Ilio with a really bad barrel, just completely behind BJ. Not going to knock that away at all. But the dead jungler means Baron.
Yeah, and this should be a completely free Baron for SGB. It would have to be a miracle team fight from BTS to actually do anything about this one. They're focusing in on Taki. Rel doesn't care. Rel is going to soak all of the damage. The Baron is secured. The Cyclone does a fair bit. Glory in the backside trying to heal through. Has absolutely no chance. SGB just destroy BTS. No amount of K-pop stands are going to be able to get them back up.
You mentioned at the start you were excited about the idea of BTS's wombo. Well, how about Rel Galio picks up 4 in that magnetic ultimate, brings down the Galio on top of it. Instant team fight loss for BTS. Nothing they can do. And that's just going to be Baron. That's going to be a one-team fight. That's going to be mid-inner turret. And now they can get the reset, come out with a 6,000 gold lead in gold stats, and then just come in, then just take out the rest of these towers. And in that 2.5 minutes, they should have grown their lead maybe by another tower or two. There are 2 towers outside the base, so maybe another 2,000 gold in their pockets, a broken inhibitor to create pressure, and just get a soul that's extremely hard to contest for BTS.
Well, Marby, I might have done it your way, because I said that this game was one of the flashes of brilliance from Drakthar, but that flashlight has run out of battery, as he has just made 2 back-to-back incredibly stupid decisions. I don't like being harsh to players. That's not true, I love being harsh, but I'm not often harsh.
You could say it was still a flash from Drakthar.
Yeah, not a flash of brilliance, though. It was incredibly silly. And it just lost his team Baron. It's just got... they were about 1.5k gold down, and now they're much, much further down. Glory is trying to get the party started, but Taki playing really well. Big Koro dives into the backline, needs to be very, very careful. There's the first kill. Traded back onto Glory. TH is spinning, but is he going to be out of winning? He goes into the Guardian Angel. This is actually looking pretty good here for BTS, but here comes Hazmed. He's late to the party, but when he gets here, he is the life of it. As he picks up the kill, the rest of BTS are limping away on about 500 health total between all 3 of them. Lucky to not get aced.
Oh, no, 3 of them. You're right. I saw Ellie. Yep, okay, so it started off extremely well for them. BTS found that catch onto Ariety. That's set them up extremely well, but Hazmed came in as the fight was petering out, and he was full health, ready to go. That's going to set them up. That's an even trade, so that's actually really good for BTS given the gold lead. So we see here Ariety just caught out, but Stopwatch is still an item, despite constant complaining. So Ariety gets to last a little bit longer, and then it's a very even fight, but in comes Hazmed at the end there. Double ultimate, forces them to be really low, picks up Big Koro, isn't able to pick up TH somehow. Really feels like he should have gotten a lot more, but Glory's dead, caught again.
Yep, this is Glory caught once again. Taki playing very, very well on this Rel so far. He does go down, and Glory's actually going to get away due to the healing. Drakthar will be the one to die. Elio trying to make space for his team, but there's just no chance. Hazmed has the shield bow active. The horse is strong, and this is just SGB absolutely running over BTS. What an utter destruction in the back half of this game.
Yeah, looks like they might be able to turn around, but Ilio overreaches, gives Hasmed that extra reset so he can pop off again and clean up the rest of the fight. And that should be the game. Big Car is the only one left standing.
Yeah, this is absolutely going to be game. Big Horror would have to be a miracle worker. And look, let me put it this way. If he saves this game, there should be a religion dedicated to him. But he's not going to, so we can continue to be heathens in our own time. And this is game 3. Three series this week, 9 games. Here we go, Marby. We're having a big week.
Oh boy, yeah, there we go. But unfortunately, the Koro was not the biggest, just the regular sizest of Koros, and he did what he could. But I did not think it would be mid lane gap this game. There was a bit more of a solo of a top lane gap that was expected, but Froggy has Froggy learned how to CS, or has Glory just failed?
I think Glory's been playing pretty badly, but we'll talk about that when we're back on our analyst desk. We are going to go to a little bit of a break. Don't go anywhere, guys. We hope you are enjoying the show here on VCS English. Welcome back, everybody, to VCS English. Once again, it is the Analyst Desk. My name is Everyday. With me is Marby and Yulway. And our first series of Saturday has gone to 3 games. Marby, you cast 3 series a week and you got 9 games. Bad. But Yulway, I'll throw to you first. What was your take on Game 2?
Yeah, I guess everything I expected to happen happened. They just are better players right now. SGB just looking better mechanically. Top lane was a big pressure point. I still don't understand why you would pick Wukong last pick into Hosmits Aurelia. Doesn't seem like a good matchup. Didn't seem to work out well for TH either. So yeah, big top div. And in the end, SGB just looks cleaner, just looks better coordinated. And I think they deserve to win the series. Stand now, or as of right now.
Well, we do have an entire game to play out. Do you have any argument to make in BTS's favor, Marby, or are you on the SGB?
No, there is a big argument in the favor of BTS, and that's the bot lane. Big Koro and Elio, for the most part, have been outperforming Taki and
That's fair.
Ariadne as a duo. So I think the main thing they need to really do is have they tried to move? Why does BTS hate picking Zoe for Glory?
I don't
It is
know. It's
such a
so
good pick.
strange.
Would it help
it's-
today with how Glory has played the last 2 games? I don't think
I mean-
there's any champion that can save him, to be honest.
I think that's your best chance. I think if you put him on that, you're at least going to go even with Froggy for the most part, because there have been plenty of series in the past where Glory has been on Zoe, played extremely well, then the rest he's been a little bit mediocre off that champion. So I think Glory is a bit of a Zoe one trick in that respect, as in he is always good on that champion, much
That's
like,
fair.
say, a Frog and a Nivea, things like that. So you look, and then just put tank Judy or something like similar for TH. The Vladimir worked in the sense that he knows that champion in and out, much like Glory Zoe. So comfort or tank Judy for TH in this matchup. Make sure he can always be useful, because a Wukong from behind is not a Wukong you want on your team at all.
No, it really, really isn't. But let's look at SGB a little bit. Taki actually getting the official MVP, I think that's very well deserved. The Rel play was actually pretty fantastic. Husmed certainly drew the eye a lot on the Irelia, but the Rel engage was consistently great. How do we deal with Taki? He's played the Alistair and now the Rel, and has actually had pretty good engages on both of them.
Well, you can't focus that much of your unbanned strategy towards Taki. The Rel,
So how do we counterpick it?
well, I imagine you're probably going to be on the blue side again if you're BTS. So
Everyday, do you
Either-
know which?
they're going to ban Rel against you?
Yeah. Do you know which champ is permabanned by my one-trick Rel friend?
It's
Janna.
someone who can stop her dash? Yeah,
Janna.
Janna?
Yes. So
It's always Janna.
if we're
It's
looking
always
at
Janna.
something, maybe to
I
attack
don't
the
think
Rel,
we're going to see
who
a Janna
knows?
pick.
The ward change hasn't come through yet. Janna's not happening. No. But yeah, you're on the blue side as BTS. So either SGB is going to ban the Rel against you, or you can first pick Rel. Rel is super strong in this patch. Rel has not really been touched at all. She's been buffed, if anything, since then. So, and that's purely a damage buff. Of course, that really only affects solo queue for the most part. So BTS should be more than happy to just pick up Rel in the first position if SGB doesn't ban it against.
It's going to be the same bans again from BTS. They are not adjusting their ban strategy whatsoever. They think things would be much worse.
They need to. I think they're a good strategy.
I'm not a huge fan of the Gnar ban. I think the Seraphim makes 100% sense there. Over on the side of SGB, they are changing the bans up once again. Azir still removed, Xayah taken away as well, and let's see where Both of these teams want to close things out. BTS putting a lot of thought.
The bans are pretty funny from SGB. Like, okay, you are actually just straight up a worse team, and the only way we are losing is if we give you these very safe late game champs and we in the mid game, which is precisely what happened in game 1, so it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit upset that that's a Nudia ban and not like a Brondo. Just as a random aside, because then BTS's bans would spell SGB. Just completely out there. But there we go. That's the Rel first pick. Absolutely nuts champion. Give that to Elio. That's going to be extremely good startup for that BTS bot lane, which should be their main focus as a win condition in this series.
Yeah, I think that's a really good pick away there, securing the Rel. It does mean Husband will go back to the Camille, which maybe BTS is happy to see after the game 1. But Froggy, presumably that will go to Froggy. Could obviously be Taki as well, getting the Galio. So far, I think the R1, R2, very positive for SGB, but BTS have just locked in one of your favorite bot lanes. So do you want to have a chat your way?
So it's not actually that much about the bot lane. I feel like Samira Rel is the stronger 2v2 combo. It's much more about the mid game and late game engages where you link...
Bot lane combos, I should say.
Yeah, you link the Rel E to the Kai'Sa, and Kai'Sa just jumps into the enemy backline and you get a 5-man stun or something. So Rel works really well with champs that can actually get ahead of her, so her E stun is going to be set up by her and her partner, where her partner jumps ahead. Ooh, this is an interesting game. Rel against Senna, two of my favorite champs right now. But yeah, that's why I really like this combination. We've already seen it work out really well in multiple leagues. But yeah, bot lane, also an interesting and explosive bot lane. I feel like Senna is going to just neutralize that one though. So now the focus is on, is this Senna going to be fasting or is she going to be farming?
I imagine it's going to be farming. We're going to have to see where BTS throws the bans. I would expect to see a Tahm Kench in there. Simply because it is that Senna, but going to keep targeting the mid lane, so they either want to force that into Froggy's hands, or at the very least, I don't know. I don't know. They would rather force it into Froggy's hands than have the opportunity for a Galio support and get that counter pick in the mid lane. So if I'm BTS here, I'm looking for a jungler that can engage and set up the Rel as well. I would like something like, maybe you go Hecarim Zoe and then set up never mind. But something along those lines. Maybe you go Pantheon Zoe, I guess, too, and then you just have a decent composition that can engage and sort of do a little bit of everything, but decent champions. Then you've got that AD jungler to match with your AP solo laners. Good spread of damage, hard to itemize against, and that's going to be Froggy's Renekton.
But overall, it's just a very surprising lack of Pantheon today. We're still on 11.2. Am I mistaken, or was 11.2 still the Pantheon patch? I think you got nerfed to 11.3, right?
It was still Pantheon patch. It is very strange that we are not seeing any Pantheon. It might, this is something I think might have
the
been.
late game.
Is that teams, because this is something, and it's why I hate the fact that we're still on 11.2. This patch is so far behind the rest of the world and live. They probably just haven't been practicing Pantheon.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Because he's not good on the live patch. You can't actually play him. We getting Drak Kane? We are. We're getting Drak Kane. There it is. Locked on in. This is a late game comp. This BTS comp does nothing in the early game.
Well,
The plus side.
Rel is the only CC in this composition. It's ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Look at this
Ras
comp.
W.
Yeah, wow.
Ras W.
The plus side. There are 3 melee champions, and they are solo laners for Rust, for Kane to attack this time. So that means you can actually get a transformation before 25 minutes. So if Drakthar somehow still fails to get that transformation off at a reasonable pace, then just bench him. call up GLX and be like, look, can we have Killer Queen,
So
please?
I actually want to once again focus on the Vladimir against Ignite Camille top lane matchup, because in the first game it actually worked out for TH. He got solo killed once, and I feel like SGB just missed an opportunity here to completely focus top lane again, like in game 2. If you put the Galio in mid lane, then the Camille sets up the gank from Galio, and this time around Vladimir can't escape because he can't get out of the ultimate cage, right? So you just set up the Camille Galio combo, everyone knows it, but Vladimir still can't do anything against it, and then you just burst him down with all the follow-ups you see. Instead, they once again select the last pick mid lane, or I should say this time Saigon Buffalo. Last time BTS tried the Aatrox flex into mid lane. This time it's Saigon Buffalo's side. For no apparent reason, I guess Galio's a nice bot laner alongside Fasting Senna, because he actually does something with the gold. But still, I feel like I would have really liked to see the Galio in the hands of Froggy again to accelerate Hosmet. Not sure what I make of this Renekton here. It's kind of out of place.
I'm not. I don't think the Renekton makes a huge amount of sense. I agree. I also think Victor can run away from Renekton. Not so much in the early game, but as the game goes on, Victor can get away.
Yep.
Which is not what you want. But your way for the third time tonight. I'm going to need your last words. And who is taking Series 1?
I think Saigon Buffalo are just the better players today. And even though BTS's comp is once again screaming, if we get to 30 minutes, we win. I don't think they get to 30 minutes on less than, let's say, an 8k gold deficit, and I think that's enough for Saigon Buffalo to close it out. It's a risky composition, once again, but yeah, I feel like Saigon Buffalo has shown us over the course of the last 2 games that they are the better team, and I believe in them.
Well, we'll talk to you after this game to see how it goes. What Talia skin is that? That is so pretty. I've never seen it. I've never looked properly at that Talia skin. It's really
I
nice.
do not know because it is off my screen at the moment, but I do want to actually just quickly extend on your ways point about the Galio being able to trap the Vladimir. There's also a lot more. There's also extra pick potential with the jungle pick, because Talia has an actual way to set up CC to follow up on the hook shot if that ever does land, or once the Hextech ultimatum comes down. Whereas the Kayn absolutely provided nothing in the ganks against the Vladimir. So Talia should be a bit more useful in trying to set up and punish the Vladimir. But there we go. We will have to see how that plays out. Because right now,
Fasting Senna, just to confirm.
Alrighty, there
It
you
is
go.
fasting Senna. Interesting. We saw a Senna yesterday and it did not fast. But this time it will be Taki taking all of the minions and having his flash burned and his life taken. As Elio does well, the horse closed. BJ coming on in. Ooh, bad time to turn. Unlucky here for BTS as they are in a lot of the teleport being used as well. Taki arrives back in the lane, actually taking teleport on a support. As Big Koro will fall, as will Elio. And that is a double kill for BJ. And there is no baked beans on this man's shirt.
And that is such a weird path from BJ. They were not expecting him to go sort of buff to buff, I suppose. And then he sees the engage from Elio, and then just decides to take that opportunity to give up his blue buff and make his way into the bot lane. The Taki teleport, as we see here, yeah, good sidestep from Elio. Still has that flip back, and that was able to put Taki into the position where he goes down for first blood. But yeah, buff to buff from BJ, walks his way down. Teleport on Taki means that they are just able to pick up a double kill in response, and that turns what was a good play from BTS into a better play from SGB.
Yeah, for sure. BJ's off to a fantastic start now. Talia, a champion that absolutely relishes a start like that as well, can really take over the game, particularly up against Drakthar on this Kayn, who isn't really a champion for a while, you know? Kayn is half a champion in the early game, and then he's 1.5 champion in the late game. So he is definitely not happy about seeing such a strong start for Talia. Hasn't actually backed though, so at the moment the junglers are somewhat at parity. Drakthar having a look at this mid lane. Would love to get some orbs out of the Renekton. came out of the wall, but then he actually hasn't hit him. He didn't even hit him with a W. He gets no orbs.
Yeah.
Get your orbs!
Couldn't really quite threaten Froggy because Froggy did know had spotted Drakthar on a ward coming up, so knew how to respond to the situation. Froggy trading quite well into Glory at the moment, but
Yeah.
Drakthar almost getting caught there, but can just hop into the wall and get away from BJ.
Yeah, Glory completely out of mana there. Couldn't really support. I mean, this is the thing about Kayn. Kayn is a very weird champion in that he doesn't need to get the kill on Froggy. He doesn't even really need to burn his flash. It's nice if you do it, but he doesn't really need to. He just needed to come out of the wall and just WQ him and then leave. You just need to be getting those orbs. Ooh, this is an interesting play. As Elio's in the mid lane, Froggy a little bit caught out here. Gets chunked out, but doesn't burn his flash and doesn't go down. So this Renekton is just fine.
Yeah, poor W from Ilio there means Froggy is able to just get away without having to burn anything. But now he's just going to help Froggy Glory shove out this wave and get a good back. Maybe if Froggy sticks around, they can collapse on him.
Oh, Froggy. Okay, they don't want to... Oh, Glory's completely out of mana.
Yeah, Glory's completely out of mana. Drakthar completing his back. Just gonna take that opportunity to reset the wave and get Glory into a position where he can keep that mana going up, gets the tier. He should be able to stick in lane for a lot longer. But seeing that back from Drakthar, seeing that reset from Glory, SGB gonna jump on the opportunity, pick up first drag.
Yep, and that makes total sense considering what happened in the bot lane. That first dragon going over to SGB, pretty much par for the course. We finally are not going to have a Cloud Rift, by the way. We've had so many Cloud Rifts this week so far, but this time we are guaranteed no Cloud Rift. It will be either Infernal or Mountain. Knowing our luck, it'll be Mountain.
We have not had an exciting rift for a while, have we?
We have not. But Hazmed pushing a big wave in here, actually has a pretty massive CS lead. Will be equalized somewhat because of the absolute size of this wave. Absolute Chad.
Absolute ladder wave.
Hazmed getting a good trade. He opted, he had to know that this was probably the matchup he was again. He was going to run back game one. Needs to do better on it this time. Needs to open himself up to actually be able to roam. Interesting change though. He's got Grasp this time.
Yeah, actually having a Keystone means that your short trades are a little bit better. Means you can build up that health. But
Drakthar gets into the wall. Oh, whoa, what the hell? That was a weird interaction. The Umbral Trespass, try to make distance and the flash will get him away. That was a very, very strange interaction between the Tekol and the wall walk from Kayn. TH needs to be careful, does go into his puddle, will get to the tower, and somehow no one is dead. Oh, Glory might be making me a liar as he does not get away. Froggy will claim that kill, the third for SGB.
I did not expect the flash from BJ and Froggy to claim that, so held onto it himself. And it's just poor collapse from BTS. They were just slow to the punch, whereas SGB, when they came, they hung around, whereas Drakthar backed away. So did TH. And so Glory was left alone, and that just meant that, yeah, there was numbers advantages in these skirmishes, and Glory does end up paying the price overall, but TH, he's managing to do all right there. He's in a bit of trouble right now, though, but dodges the seismic shove. Maybe able to get away from this.
TH is on the run, and the minion wave being there to block the rock. Will get that Vladimir to safety, but he will be losing some tower plates. Will be Hazmed accelerating very nicely. Drakthar roaming up to stop them taking... actually only gets the one tower plate. Because they wanted to greed that wave, and Drakthar came and reinforced.
Yeah, and we're seeing the effect that having an actual jungler does on the game when you need to get ahead early. Hazmed much able to actually punish TH a lot more. He's built up a 20 CS lead. He's got that tower plate. So he's built himself about a 500 gold advantage, as we can see there. And in the mid lane and the jungle as well. That's where the advantages are happening. There's about actually, never mind that. I was going to say there's an 1,000 gold offset in the bot lane, but that's a fasting center, so it's a little bit of a misleading. Though that said, Ilio is about on par with Taki, so that's actually overall an 1,000 gold difference in the bot lane.
Yeah, Senna's
For
a
the
little.
duo.
Senna makes it a little bit weird, of course, because souls aren't gold. So she's a bit strange. It is a bit of a gold lead down in the bot side for sure. Doing well, they are, and we've got to see where they go to next. So far, Drakthar hasn't gotten too many orbs. I don't think he would have gotten a fair bit out of that last little exchange, but I don't think he's going to be particularly close to his transformation. So we do need to keep track of this Kayn, really figure out where and when he's going to be turning into that Rasty boy.
However, ETS taking advantage of this really slow bot lane, the Taki and
Oh,
never mind,
Froggy caught out dead.
Center wait,
teleports.
but Taki, he's a bit tanky. They've used a good chunk of their CC, so they're not going to be able to burst him down. But yeah, they were able to take advantage of the fact that it's Senna, Galio in the bot lane, not the best at taking turrets. So they're going to get this Rift Herald for basically free. Hasmid just going to walk away, give a orb over to Drakthar. Then they can drop this Rift Herald and give a lot of plate gold back to Big Koro.
Yep, this is a good play here, making
Hasmid.
Hasmad a little bit
Hasmad.
upset.
Hasmid.
It is. The reinforcements are coming. So if they dive, I actually don't think it'll work out very well for them. The Herald summoned up. B&J is here. Could have gotten here faster with the wall as well. This is actually not worked out very well for BTS at all. Will Shelly get her charge off? She will not. Big mistakes out of BTS.
Yep, that was absolutely a terrible Rift Herald.
Waited
timing
so
from
long.
Drakthar.
They waited
They-
way too long.
They waited so long. As soon as Hasmid's walking back that aggressive, you have to know something's up. So you either call his bluff and dive him, or you just back off, take the Rift Herald somewhere else. You don't just dump it in the middle of a wave plus him under turret and leave it there, because that happens. You're at best gonna get another 2 plates, but you can use it much easier somewhere else. It's not like it was timing out or it was close to 14 minutes. So it's just a wasted Herald,
Just
and that
silly.
means that entire map rotation, which was actually good from BTS, just ends up doing nothing.
Yeah, they did get the kill on Froggy. That's about all, though. But they lose Rift Herald charge. Well, rather, they don't get anything out of Rift Herald rather than losing something. And they lose the dragon. So it is going to be the Mountain Rift. Of course it is. But SGB are set up with 2 stacks of Drake already. Down on the bot side, TH is going to be the target of a dive. But Drakthar and Froggy are waiting in the wings. Taki so low. The heal is burned. The Umbral Trespass is being used. Drakthar
Good timing from Kaki.
unlucky there. Could not find a way out. Glory has arrived, though, to try up. This could go well for BTS on the backside. It's a double kill for the already. Victor Von Doom charges on in and takes them down. Glory already looking better this game.
Yeah, 2 for 1 overall on the trade. Could have been even more if Taki hadn't timed that ultimate perfectly. But now BJ, he's getting a little hypey.
Is caught. There it is. Big Koro comes on in. The center ult was used, but far, far too late. And it's a shutdown going over to Big Koro. BTS firing back, and they're within 200 gold.
Great awareness from the bot lane. As we're going to see this play, they try and dive onto TH, knowing Froggy's going to come down, but Drakthar's here first, jumps in, gets unlucky, has an unfortunate timing, but Glory has made his way down. He's able to clean it up. TH doing a decent amount of damage at this stage, and that Vladimir is only going to get scarier.
Yep, exactly. This Vlad is definitely scaling up well. Still very far behind. Has not completed the belt yet, but still a level 9 Vladimir is definitely not something to be scoffed at. He's able to add a lot. Was a weird target for that little dive. I think they were just kind of trying to go for some poke, but didn't realize Drakthar was waiting in the wings, ready to go. He would have gotten quite a few orbs out of that. I know I'm saying it a lot, but it is very important to track Kayn's orbs, because we need to see a bit earlier than 25 minutes.
Yeah, luckily for
this
him,
time.
25 minutes, he's already made a lot more happen on the map. He's got
Exactly.
double the assists that Drakthar did for
Oh,
quite a long time.
TH is in a lot of trouble. The wall is built, but he just flashes on over. Still, the
Yes.
summoner is expected.
That's it. Yeah. Good flash getting away from that seismic shove. Didn't have the pool ready. We just saw Drakthar also still not transformed quite yet, but
That would be very quick. 14 minutes is pretty quick.
yeah, Kane is
Kane's weird.
such an infrequent champion. I have no idea rough of what is a good timing. I just know 25 minutes is bad.
Yeah, no, 25 minutes
I know
is pretty
that
bad.
much.
14 minutes like onwards is when we start looking for the transformation, realistically. But 14 flat would have been extremely. You need to get off to a much better start to do that. But we do want to see the transformation soon enough. He shouldn't get screwed over by the lockout at the very least. He should definitely be offered the red transformation because he has been hitting melee champions a lot. By the way, Riot, I know you don't watch our stream, but if anyone from Riot ever sees this, please change that mechanic. Please. It's dumb. You could make Kane interesting. Are we back? Are we back? What screen are we on, production?
Maybe.
Are we on camera?
I'm seeing all of YouTube.
Yeah. Let's just hopefully this gets fixed up quickly. Yeah, we don't want to watch in 360p.
Why not? Throwback. It's 2009 all over again.
Are we back in? Are we showing the production?
All right. I think
I assume so.
we're good. But as if going on about
hang
never
on.
mind.
That was a bit hypey there from Glory for sure. Did deny a couple of souls, so arguably worth it, but didn't get much else. The Predator from Taki was used as well. Has that chem tank complete?
Really not worth, judging by the whole there is a mountain dragon up and that's what they're looking to fight for. Losing that big cooldown of the Chaos Storm is pretty important. As for Drakthar, he's currently starting up the dragon, but outside of this, fight's gonna kick off.
Yeah, it is. Froggy getting into the back line, doing a lot of damage to Drakthar, and the Galio ult's gonna do well. This is a good combo so far, but it's traded back. 1 for 1 at the moment. Both junglers are dead. No smites available on Summoner's Rift. BTS with fantastic positioning. SGB just surrendered the Dragon Pit. Give the Dragon up. They don't want to risk it.
They may be able to get inside track on mid, but Helio
No, not even close.
positioning
really.
very aggressively. Gonna stop that from happening. They may look to transfer that up into that Rift Herald then. Instead, actually, nope, nothing's happening. But the slideshow is betraying me.
Yeah. It's not ideal here.
But yeah,
go ahead. Sorry. You back?
as we just jump into this replay, it's very aggressive moves out of Froggy and BJ. BTS knows that they cannot let the jungler get it off, so they blow up BJ immediately. But on the other side, Taki and Hasmet use the blast cone to just assassinate Drakthar. So in the end, it's the junglers for junglers, and they push out. But BTS pushes out SGB. They get the dragon. That stops Soul Point. That gives them at least 5 more minutes to the next fight. Well, at least 10 minutes before a massive fight has to occur.
Yeah.
Looking at Drakthar, come on, man. If I'm Drakthar, what I want to be doing is targeting Hasmed. As we're going to see a bit of a skirmish around Rift Herald, so I'll finish this quickly. Target Hasmed without the flash. Get Elio up there with you. Just keep bullying Hasmed until you get that Rast transformation, and then you can start to focus the rest of the map a little bit more. Just bully the Camille. Yep. Bully the Camille. Get your stacks, or even bully Renekton. I don't care. Hit those side lanes. Stop just faffing around in the middle of the map. Get your transformation, lad.
Yeah,
it's more important than the 10 CS you are behind. Once you get that, you've got more than 10 CS worth of stats in your kit. and how
It's
much
true.
more effective it is.
He doesn't want to overstep, though. I think he's just being very, very cautious, knowing that there's no big fight coming up, so a couple minutes of delay on the transformation doesn't look good on his stat card, but probably won't actually matter in the long run, as TH and Froggy have...
The thing is, Froggy has been pushed up permanently against TH, but
doing
now
a lot of
TH
damage to TH. Actually
might
getting
turn it
TH's...
around.
Well, he had to use his ultimate there just to be defensive. Just needed the healing. So Froggy doing well, getting that pretty big team fight cooldown. This is obviously a level 12 Vlad now, rank 2 of that ultimate. He's actually pretty big in fights, but that is not going to be available for a little while. As TH, again, has to pull away from the Renekton. And that, one misstep from TH is a kill for Froggy.
But as these trades extend, TH is just going to win out more and more. And now Draktar's a little bit upset because he made his way all the way down, and now Froggy has to leave. So
he
probably
might
not
get to
gonna
him, though.
solved.
He might get to him.
Oh.
Observers!
Observers.
He's under the tower. Observers! There's a 1v1 in the bot lane! Observers, please, dear God! As Froggy does go down, finally. Hopefully we get a replay.
Froggy apparently bought quite a lot of time, though. Used the Dominus, used the Flash, but in the end, that's not going to save him. That's going to give more souls to Draktar and going to give them pressure onto this bot lane turret. However, on the top side of the map, BJ's made his way up there. Hasmed's forced Big Koro back off. Yeah, here we are. Draktar through the wall. Probably just dolts almost straight away once the Dominus comes out, but Froggy tries to turn it around, but yeah, TH flashes over to secure that kill and make sure nothing happens to his jungler.
Yep, doing well, picking up the kill on that Crocodile. We have our mythics coming in. It actually is going to be the Triforce for Husman on the Camille. So going a little bit of a split push build. We typically see Divine Sunderer if you want a team fight, and the Triforce if you are in the side lanes. So that makes sense, being a constant side lane threat. Forcing the Vladimir to come answer you means he can't be a teamfight menace, which is where Vlad really wants to be once he's scaled up, of course.
And I'm going to take TH's word on it for the most part, because he probably knows the matchups for Vladimir probably a lot better than I do, but I'm a little surprised he's gone so straight for this Blighted Jewel instead of stopping off at like a Seeker somewhere, because Zhonya's has always been a good item on Vladimir because you can buy so much time with Zhonya's plus pull. So, plus you're guaranteed to be
Big
silent.
Koro! He just flew forward. Doesn't actually get anything though, alright? He just
If he
able
had
to
Gale Force,
continue.
you might have.
It's true.
But yeah, just if you're TH, as we see a teleport in, so I'm just going to ignore my point.
Draktar has transformed, by the way. We didn't actually spot them immediately when he did it. He gets the knock up onto BJ, but then immediately has to go gold. He has to find an Umbral pass. He does manage to do it. Big Koro is dead, though. Traded back onto Husmed. It's one more knockups, and the knockups were good. Here is TH. Vladimir is here. Getting the kills. It was traded back. It's a 4 for 2, and the dragon for BT.
Yeah, the combo works out beautifully for SGB. So many knockups. Big Koro goes down, but here at the end, TH coming in to send those Buffaloes straight to Revendreth. He is very angry. He is very far along in levels, and Variety was actually just removed from the start of this. So all this was a 4v4 for the most part. Then
Oh.
Like the big bot.
You good, Barbie? Hello? You there? You were lagging a bit.
Was all that lagged out?
All that was lagged out. Yeah.
Big Vladimir. That's the summary.
I could see your video and you looked so excited, but all I was getting was just a syllable every now and then. What a shame.
Big Vladimir.
Welcome back, yes. Big Vladimir. He's big vamp. Sorry, not a vampire. Legally distinct.
Legally not a vampire. doesn't get the benefits.
Can't join the vampire union. Froggy will take this bot lane tower though, but it was a good team fight for BTS. Is something else to add, of course. Rast has arrived, did fairly well in that fight, did actually hit some pretty big knockups as Drakthar died, but does need to balance his balance things out a little bit better in terms of his aggression.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what Ariety's soul count is. They actually haven't clicked on him for about 20 minutes.
Yeah, the joys of not actually having a production in the game. So,
yeah.
However, Froggy and TH gonna battle it out a little bit. Shouldn't really amount to much. Neither should be able to kill either by themselves. But we're seeing TH. He's coming online. He's got a few more components. He's making his way towards that Sonya's now. The Blighted Jewel was apparently just for that little bit extra magic penetration.
Magic pen is the most broken stat in the game.
Oh,
it is absurd. Froggy does manage to get away. Doesn't get caught by any of the very slow CC out of BTS. BJ gets chunked, but nothing he can't regen. And Husmed is down in this side lane, in the bot lane, just pushing towards the tower, but the collapse is coming. Drakthar pops out of the wall, misses everything.
Husmed gets away. Yep, but over these past few minutes, BTS has been playing around their pressure points and minion waves quite well. They've picked up 2 towers for themselves with no real major objectives happening or big team fights. So just picking up free gold that they giving the local gold all to Glory so he can get even further. ahead. He's got 5 kills for himself. He is actually putting on a decent showing this game after 2 not so good games so far this series.
Yeah, he is redeeming himself in this one, and that's the one that matters. It's the one that decides the series. In the end, not a huge difference between 2-1 and 2-0 as long as you're the 2. There's a huge engage from Elio, throwing himself so deep. Big Koro tries to follow up, but can't get over the wall for now. The laser from Glory can. And TH is in the back line as well as Drakthar. They're trying to chase in onto Taki. They've already picked up 2 kills. They can't quite make it a third, but they will be able to make it a Baron.
Yeah, the third one is going to be the Baron. They've pushed Taki away. He has the teleport, so if they want to try for something, but TH, what have you done?
Oh, yeah, this is a pretty big mistake. He goes gold, does not have access to the puddle as he comes back out. The Baron is secured, but Vlad dying for nothing.
He wanted to try and stave off this mid-wave push, but he paths so aggressively that he just ends up getting punished for it. Husmed still had his ultimate, so there was no way out for TH. But 4 members of BTS have the Baron, so they can use that to their advantage. Unfortunately, TH, that's the one you wanted on. You always wanted on your top laner, because he's almost certainly going to be the one who's always in a side lane, giving you that extra pressure on the waves to work with, and then allowing you to rotate between 2 waves you've prepared earlier, rather than just shoving up the one in mid lane. Because you don't want to send Glory up there. He's a Victor. You don't want to send him into the side lanes.
Yeah, it's very true. And this is sort of why I am not a huge fan of putting Husmed on picks like this Camille, if he's going to play the side lane the whole time. Drakthar lands a cheeky little knockup. They need him in fights. He's such a strong member of this team. You need him in the team fights, and he hasn't been participating. Elio might have bitten off more than he can chew. The Winds of War take him down. A little bit silly from BTS, going a little bit too far. Froggy deep in the back line, got a massive shield. This turnaround here for SGB, but Froggy goes down. No. Drakthar doing well on the front, gets the knockups. The Galio ult lands, not doing a huge amount, and oh boy, it is definitely not the BTS turnaround quite yet. Husmed finally dropping. BJ, full health, is tagged up by the Kai'Sa, gets Glory low, Big Koro just as low. Ooh boy, that was getting real dicey. Glory does go down. Big Koro though flashes forward and makes it a 1-for-1. It's the ace, but it was messy.
It was very messy, but the big star of that fight was Drakthar. He lasted for so long. That Gore Drinker, that inbuilt healing into that Rast kit, kept him alive for so long, and that wins BTS that team fight despite Elio going down immediately. That gets them that 3rd Mountain Drake, and now if you thought Drakthar was hard to kill before, he's now getting even harder to kill. Same with Elio. That so many extra tank stats coming in for this team, and so much healing just naturally. So we see a kickoff, Ilio overextends, gets blown up, but then when the re-engage occurs, it's just, there's so much healing left in the kit. Froggy, I mean, he lasts quite a long time thanks to that Sterix, but TH and Dragthar jump into the front line and just do not die. So much healing coming out from them. Again,
Silly Ariety.
1v3.
Ariety's just so silly there. Like, why are you stepping that close to a Kayn that's in the Hextech ultimatum? Why are you there?
I missed that in both the original and the replay because my stream keeps lagging.
Oh no. Mid lane
doing my
tower
best.
is going to be picked up for SGB. They use the wall to make sure no reinforcements come in. They get that structure free. This is not looking great here for SGB. I did see just before that there is 90 souls. There was at least 90 souls about 30 seconds ago for Ariety, which is not great at 30 minutes. I know Yulwei's in and he is our resident Senna expert. What do you think of 90 souls at about 30 minutes? You'll have to let us know.
No, 90 souls seems
It's
to be
not bad.
about right. But it is... But the vision score is where the complaints should be held. It is still only that second tier of support item. Has not been getting that harassment off, has not been hitting those structures. And you can put that down to good play out of BTS for the most part. I mean, being 0-4 as Ariety is a bit rough, especially because you are going for this more expensive build of the Ginsus into the crit, but with nearing 100 souls, with the Kraken Slayer, and with that Rage Knife completed, you are actually packing quite a punch on every auto because of the conversion of on-hit plus just the natural natural crit you're getting from those souls, despite only having a Zeal and a Kraken Slayer.
It is interesting. Oh, here we go. Elio throwing himself in. Big Koro once following up. I've got a little bit of deja vu. TH just detonates Ariety in the backside. This is an absolute stomp here. Glory picking up one. Big Koro taking as well. Taki teleporting out of there. Husmed has to go gold to dodge a Senate. A cut. What the? Oh, Taki actually pretty smart. He teleported to try and cut the wave. Didn't actually work
Try and
out.
cut the wave. Doesn't work. Ilio has 3 mountain dragons. He is very tanky. He can tank these towers for as long as he wants, especially when he puts his horse on. That man is just... That lady is never going to die.
No.
And especially not with just Taki and Husmed to fend it off, and not even a Taki anymore.
No, just Husmed, who has had very low impact on this final game. Obviously was a big part of their winning game too. But this is SGB. They live and die by the impact of Husmed, and this time he has not had an impact. They have died, and BTS will pick up their first series win. 0 wins, no more. They are now 1-3. Congratulations, BTS. We'll head straight back over to a bit of an analyst desk. Yulwei, what's your take on the series?
What is my take on the series? SGB did not want to win the series, apparently. I'm not sure what the first draft was. They should have won the series, but instead, they actually hand BTS their first series victory, which they don't really deserve today, but I think they deserve it in the overall grand scheme of things when you look at the standings. So I'm not too unhappy with that. I'm a little bit surprised SGB. The last game was just very bad from them. So 1 bad game, 2 pretty good games, and they only win 1 game on the day, which is very sad. But yeah, BTS looking like the best late game team fighting team, or maybe not the best, but one of the best. If they get to the late game, they actually look super strong. And TH on his Vladimir, he can basically play 1 champion. He has shown us again and again. He has 1 champion in his champion pool, but that champion is firmly in his champion pool. So maybe a ban here or there could be an option.
Yeah, I think it really is just showing that if BTS can get TH to be comfortable, clearly not the Wukong, but on the Vladimir, and if they can, beat another champion into him. That's what they're gonna need, because the rest of the map, sure, Glory had a bad first 2 games, but the rest of the map, for the most part, seems to be showing up pretty solid for BTS, and that's exactly what they need. Big Caro and Elio in particular stepping up massively today.
For sure. Well, that is going to bring us to the end of our first series. It is BTS finally claiming a win. SGB getting knocked down once again. This time, well, the first time they lost was to GARM. This one will actually hurt a little bit more, as perhaps they were expected to take the win. Regardless, with that, we'll say goodbye just for about 20 minutes. Don't worry, we'll be back in plenty of time for the second series, which is, of course, our match of the week between SBTC, the super big-time chicken, versus Team Secret. See you guys then. Don't go anywhere.
Damn chicken, never know.